Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another installment of Youth Engagement. This is Antoine Ward alongside Brian Brady. Brian, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing fabulous. Thanks,
Well,
Antoine. How about you?
I'm great, man. Well, it's an absolute pleasure to be here tonight because we get a chance to talk to the next generation of civic leaders here in the country. We got one from Detroit, one from Cali. So I'm actually absolutely excited to being able to do this. We sit next to Kathleen Ali, all the way out from Detroit. Kathleen, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm good. And then we got all the way from Cali, all the way from the West Coast. We got Michelle Bacilio. Michelle, how you doing today?
I'm doing well tonight. How about you?
I'm doing great. So we had an opportunity to talk beforehand just about some of the cool things that you guys have been doing in your respective councils. So the first thing that I want to know from you both is what made you get into this kind of work dealing with youth engagement and being able to be in the position that you are now as students?
So I began community organizing at first, so just doing local things. And the more that I would do it, the more I found confidence within myself. And I thought, well, oh, maybe I can go beyond the community. And then I went from doing community organizing to city organizing, and then state, and then eventually now national organizing.
And Michelle, what
That's
about
great.
you?
I decided to join this program because I wanted to be a voice for many youth, and I feel that youth are very underrepresented just because people don't take us seriously, and I feel like I wanted to be like that voice for someone, and it's a great opportunity for me to express my thoughts, feelings, and opinions.
Well, that's absolutely amazing from you both. And Brian has spoke great things about you guys. And I want to know moving forward, what do you hope to carry with the work or accomplish with the work that you're doing now? And do you see this as being something that you might be wanting to be involved in maybe 5 or 10 years down the line as you transition from high school, maybe to college, and maybe outside of that?
100%. I think that I would want to give back to my community. So eventually, once I am financially stable, I do want to give back to the non-profit organizations that helped me. So I would like to do, I guess, donations in the future, and I would also like to maybe create one if I have the chance locally.
I agree with Kathleen just because I feel like many organizations have helped me to improve, and I want to give back to I want to give back to the community and let them know that I can give them that support that they need, and that people always need to look out for resources and opportunities that could be provided from others.
Amazing.
Both work with 15 other young people from around the country on the National Healthy Schools Collaborative Youth Council, sponsored by Kaiser Permanente. Um, what is the recommendation that you came up with? What's one of them? You've came up with 15. What's one of them that you are most passionate about, you care most about, and you think schools around the country should listen to most?
So for me, I was on the student advocacy group, and one recommendation that we came up with was to create more, I guess, communication between mental health professionals and students within a school environment. And that's something that I feel like very passionate about because my school doesn't offer that. And I didn't even know that that could be offered until I did join these meetings. So that was like, I guess, like a culture shock to me. I wish that my school did provide like a school therapist or a school counselor because I have one counselor, but they're more towards academics than mental health. So I wish my school just offered more resources.
If I remember correctly, I think mine was building relationships between students and teachers, and I felt that that one is a big one just because there aren't many relationships formed between students and teachers because we're either too scared to ask for help, or we're not sure if they can provide us with the help they that we need. So I feel that that one was an important one.
That's great. And what skill do you think you've most developed on this youth council since you started back in March? What are you stronger at now?
I would say my communication skills. I'm very shy. I don't know if that comes off, but I feel like I'm a very shy person. But through these meetings, I feel like I gained more and more confidence talking in front of groups and like presenting or talking in front of essentially like strangers, you know, like going into this group I didn't know anyone. Now I feel like I'm more confident in talking.
For me, it would be public speaking, just because I have a lot of anxiety, and it's really hard for me to like present in front of people. And so I feel like this program has really helped me to be able to express myself and feel comfortable with people that I haven't had like a good relationship yet. So I think that's a good skill that I've learned.
So you both go to interesting schools. I'm sure there's an adult in your school building that's helped you feel more at home and better about yourself. Tell me a story about one adult ally, a teacher, counselor, principal, could be even the janitor, who's made you feel better about your own mental health.
So I would say my counselor, Miss Colon, she's actually very supportive towards me, and she always like I could meet with her, and she always has my back, and like I trust her enough to be able to tell her like about my experiences, what I need help with, and if I just want to like chat for a little bit. So she's really helped me, and she's guided me be um to be the person that I've become now.
So for my school, like one like very great thing about my school is because it's so small, you get really good relationships with the staff. And I feel like there hasn't been like a staff member that I didn't want to get to know, if that makes any sense. And I feel like for me, especially when it comes to history teachers, history is not my favorite subject, but something about history teachers, like I don't know, they've just always been, I guess, like my favorites. Like not trying to be biased, but I just really enjoy history teachers. I feel like they're just the funnest, and I don't know. But yeah, I guess my history teachers.
Antoine, how about you? You
Favorite subject in school?
no, just which teacher? I remember when you were in high school. That's how old I am.
Uh-huh.
Made you feel better about your own mental health and identity in high school, or which principal, which adult at Orr High School?
There was a particular teacher by the name of Robin Diaz. I forgot what she taught, but she would always every Friday play something motivational for us on like a VHS. That's a VHS to tape, no DVDs. It was just like a big block of tape. And she played one day. She played this video by the name of Les Brown, and it was called "Being Hungry." He was a motivational speaker. If you ever heard of Les Brown, I've been listening to him since she played that video. But I was having maybe the roughest day at that year. With it was a lot going on at home, and I was just like dealing with a lot. And it was just as if when I sat down and she put that video on, like she had put that video on for me, because one of the messages in that video was never let somebody's opinion of you become your reality. And once I heard that, that seeped so much into my spirit as to who I was and what I was dealing with at that moment, that I actually asked her for a copy of that video. I went home and I watched it, and like I had broke down crying, because a lot of the stuff that he was talking about in that motivational video was things that I was going through, but also talking about how to overcome. And like I've been listening to him at least once a day, every single day since that. And I literally found her on Facebook maybe a couple years ago, and I sent her a message saying, you know what, I don't know who was paying attention to those videos, but I was one of the ones, and that literally changed my life. So thank you so much. And like, thank you for being able to just spread that knowledge as a teacher. So uh, kind of take heed to all the teachers and the things in your lives right now that give you a source of motivation and inspiration. And if you can, keep track of those people, because those people are the ones that give you life and help you realize sometimes when you need it the most, how good you are, even if you don't know or doubt yourself sometimes.
And last question of the evening. I'm stealing all the questions, Antoine.
Take them
If
away.
your advice for another student, if they are struggling with their mental health in some fashion, what would be one thing, one piece of advice you would give a student, any student across the country, let's say a high school student?
I would say don't be afraid to ask for help, because asking for help can change like a lot, and it can help you in finding the resources, the help that you need. And I just think that when you ask for help, you grow more as a character and you grow more as a person, and I think that's very important. So I would tell them to ask for help.
For
Kathleen?
me, I guess I would say identify what's giving you a hard time, because I used to go through I had a lot of anxiety when I was a freshman and sophomore in my high school career, and that's because of one, like my diet was really bad. And diet, like, a lot of people don't talk about this, but diet plays a really 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 big part in your mental health. It really does. And I know, like, you hear that going around, but like actually once I started implementing like a better diet and a better, I guess better habits, that's when you're gonna see like a lot of changes mentally. And I know, like, in the moment you might not think that you're changing as much, but over time, I guess that would be my second point, is give it time. You're not going to change overnight. You're not going to stop feeling stressed or anxious overnight. That's unfortunately not possible. Give yourself time. Give yourself time to grow. Ask for help. That's a really big thing. I guess that would be my third point. Have like a person, whether that might be your counselor or maybe a family member or a friend, that you could just talk to. And I feel like having someone like that in your life is just so important. I know, like, I'm very thankful for my mother, because I used to talk to her a lot when I used to go through that, and she used to help me out. And yeah, I guess those would be my 3 points. So one, look at your daily habits and your diet. Two, give yourself time. It's okay to feel stressed and anxious and, you know, all that. It's not like, don't look at it as in like a burden. Think of it as in like a chance to grow. I guess that's a good way of thinking about it. And then I guess third is find someone that you can talk to.
Great. And Antoine, you get the last word.
I would say in an environment where you as a student are probably having pressure to be a certain thing based on maybe your family, maybe on friends, maybe there's expectations being put on you to be something. And I would just say to give yourself grace and to understand that you are a human being and that you're going to make mistakes, and that you have to, if you know what you want to do in life, if you know where you want to go, understanding that that line is not going to be it's not going to be a straight line. There's going to be some obstacles that are going to incur in your life that's going to keep you from going straight to that path. So give yourself grace and don't be mad and beat yourself up because you're not where you want to be as a teenager. And understanding too, as I said, that a lot of the things that you're going to go through as a teenager, it's going to pale in comparison to when you get to be an adult. So make as many mistakes as you can now. Try to learn as much as you can from the elders in your life, and just stay positive and motivated, because when life starts lifing as an adult, when bills got to be paid, when you got to have money to feed the dog and take care of the husband or wife or whatever the case, life hits. So it takes away from the joy of what you like to do in life. So really try your best to give yourself grace and to, work at your pace, be at your own pace in life, and not live up to other people's expectations.
Uh, well, you want to take us out, Antoine, and close this episode of Youth Engage?
Yes, it's been an absolute pleasure talking with both of you ladies, Michelle and Catherine. One's on the East, one's in the Midwest, and one's out on the West Coast. I appreciate you guys. I know the time differences are a little weird, but I appreciate you both tuning in. So for for the Youth Engage show, thank you both for tuning in. Brian, it's always an absolute pleasure to be able to interview people. For all the information that you may need on this podcast, go to youthengagement.com, as well as any of the other social media platforms that we may have for you guys. This is a training video, so I'm not giving you any sort of information. I'm just giving you guys an example on how to end the video. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Ladies, have a great rest of the night. And once again, guys, take it easy.